And we are live.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Funny seeing you here. Not really. We're glad to have you. Of course, we've got everybody hopefully relaxed, ready to watch Dream Warriors. We're going to get started in about 3 seconds. I have my remote. Do you have your remote? Everybody ready? Synchronize our remotes. Ready? Okay, so I'm going to count everybody who's watching. Who's ready to watch? Who's ready to hit play? You all ready to hit play?
I'm ready.
On Facebook. So let's go. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, mine's going. It hasn't started yet, but it's going.
New line.
Oh, I probably need to turn the volume down. Oh no, I have no volume because I use the sound bar.
I was gonna say, should we only have one person's going and not all of ours going?
I know this movie so well, I'll probably be able to just. Yeah, I saw this the night it premiered on HBO, I believe, in 1988. First time I saw it.
You hear my TV?
Nope.
I got to see it in the theater.
Lucky bastard.
I was I think 6. When did this one come out? I know it was 87, but what month was it? March?
Probably tail end of the year.
So I would have been 6, and I know I was supposed to see something else, and the theater was split up in 2, and the movie I was supposed to see was on the left, and I went right because I saw the Freddy poster, and I was like, I want to see that. I was bowled by myself.
It's the dingleberry scissors. You ever hear John Heffern talking about mom cutting your hair with the orange handled scissors, and she also cut the dingleberries off the dog when it gets shit in his fur? No, mom's chasing me with the dingleberry scissors.
Andre says it was February.
February.
We need to we're going to keep track of the comments. Alex Miller says you should guys have an overlay timer. We are not that advanced yet. And that's all on Keith. He's the graphics guy.
Maybe for next time, now that we know about it.
Yeah, we'll do another one. If you guys enjoy this, let us know what other movie you'd like us to do a commentary on. We did Return of the Living Dead a couple years ago. That was fun. This might be too loud. I can't find my TV, so I got to get up again.
I can hear it. So paper mache.
Where's your house?
I always love this opening. I do. I really like her making this.
I will say she makes paper mache look way neater than what it is because it's a messy freaking.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. My daughter and I made one of these, like a small one, for fun once.
I prefer the opening to Dream Master, but
oh yeah,
this one's really good too. You know, that's one of the things about the Nightmare movies. All of them really have a really great, strong opening. We should rank the openings.
We missed the quiet, cool music.
I know.
Who saw it on cable?
So much better.
Chugging instant coffee with Diet Coke. Oh my God.
Has anybody tried that? Because I did. Not Diet Coke. It was Coke. But I tried that once. And first of all, I'm not a coffee guy, so.
Not too loud.
Mine's still too loud?
Do you hear mine?
No.
Yeah.
Brooke Burke. I got a picture with the cast in part 4, and they put her in the middle, so it looks like it's her photo op, not mine and my dad. We just look like we're with the crew, with the cast.
Best part about her is she looks like a bitch. Like, she's got the look. Everything about her in this scene.
It's her eyes.
But in person, she looks like a sweetheart. I didn't get to meet her. I just got the photo op.
I'd like to meet her daughter
sometime.
Her daughter was
Yeah.
a pilot in Friday the 13th, Part 5.
Oh, that's right. Where you keep the bourbon? In Kentucky,
Where you
baby.
keep the bourbon? Just look around for it, please.
It was such a weird jump because I saw this the night it premiered, and Freddy's Revenge played right before it, and so I was seeing both of those back to back. My first nightmare experience, and to go from Revenge to this, I mean, they're just, I don't know, it was just an exciting night, man. I had it on tape, and I carried that VHS tape around and wore it out watching these two films.
Yeah, it was a shame for me because I had to catch it on cable till the 90s. And then my mom bought me a VCR in like 93, 94. And for those of you that don't know what a VCR is, and I'm not going to cite Keith here because he knows, but, you know, it's a tape. And first thing I did when I got that, I went up and bought Freddy's Revenge and Dream Warriors at the local mall in a music store. I believe it's Tape World.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first time I watched this was on Chiller TV, Chiller Channel, whatever. It was probably edited to hell, though.
Did it cost you an arm and a leg, Ray, for those? Because I know, like, at that time, you couldn't really buy movies weren't that available.
They were
like
both
there was
25 bucks.
Yeah, there was like Suncoast, and there you pay like $30-$40 for a movie there. Even at that time, like I remember when like Batman was kind of the first VHS tape where you could go into a store and there it was. Like,
Yeah,
I
remember that.
We didn't have movies in stores. Like you couldn't go buy them like you can now. Like Batman again was like the first one I remember where I walked into Walgreens and they had like a display, you know, and I was like, wow, you can buy movies? Because then it was really, they were like $100 or something if you wanted to buy one.
Yeah.
Like if you lost it at the rentals place, you had to pay like $100 to replace it.
And that's not including the price of the VCR itself.
I wanted to pre-order because Saturday Matinee in our mall, I wanted to pre-order Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and they're like, "Oh, it'll be $90." I'm like, "No." And then I ended up eventually buying like a previously viewed, copy of it at Best Buy, or not Best Buy, Blockbuster.
God, that's creepy.
I think the first thing I bought on VHS on my own was in True Romance, the director's cut at Suncoast, which was probably like $35 or something at the time.
Andre
with Patricia.
Andre Bickley says, "What's a VCR? Is it something I could download?"
Yeah.
Yeah. He also says Dream Master definitely had the better opening. Instant Coffee. Chris Hall's with us. Says Instant Coffee, Coke always got me. Yeah, what's the last VHS you bought? That's a great question. I think The Ring was the last one.
I was a holdout on DVD.
Like new
I didn't buy
VHS
DVD.
Or...
I think the first DVD I ever bought was like Carrie 2 The Rage when it came out. That was the first thing I bought.
I saw that in theater.
I held out on DVD because I had such a huge VHS collection.
I think mine was actually Attack of the Clones, because I actually still have that VHS.
I always love this because I know I've had a nightmare where you're trying to run away and you can't, like you're just in place.
Yeah.
You can't move, and the monsters coming. I mean, this really resonated when I saw this sequence because I had that nightmare.
I've had the nightmare of Freddy chasing me before when I was a kid. This also kind of
get out of the sludge. Get out of the sludge.
Opening or that scene in Nightmare 1.
You know what's amazing is how the lighting in this. These sets are so basic and cheap, but you would never know because of the fogging up the location, the lighting. It works.
Alex, Seth is on here tonight. He's just being quiet.
Seth just loves this movie.
Dude, I love the first 4 Elm Street movies. I can watch them anytime.
Yeah. Which one has your favorite opening? That was the first question I'm asking. Favorite opening from the movie. Mine is definitely Dream Master. Although Tina's in the first movie is pretty great too. I think
I would say Dream Master.
Yeah.
I mean, just the chalk drawing stuff.
Yeah.
The Nightmare song.
All of it, the whole thing.
I mean, I like. There's something about that bus scene. Are you just talking about credits or just opening scenes?
Opening scenes, I believe.
Yeah, opening scene wise, I don't know. I mean, that whole school bus in the desert with part 2 is pretty awesome.
It is.
I wanted to go here. This is UCLA. I wanted to go out there and see when I was in LA to see these locations.
The Weston Hills Psychiatric Hospital. That's where we are.
Yeah.
On screen right now.
Yeah. God, I love Max. I wish there had been more Max. Like Lawrence Fishburne is just one of the coolest actors. I mean, I love that guy.
He is. Why isn't he going to be in the new Matrix movie?
One of you guys are a little loud.
That's what keep people alive.
Good morning, Jennifer. How are the birds?
Can you hear the movie?
Yeah.
Somebody's I can hear
I'm
clearly.
gonna change mine.
I have mine down. I have subtitles on.
Yeah,
It doesn't really bother me. I just don't want Facebook to pick it up and be like, nope.
Yeah. That's why I'm keeping mine down with subtitles.
Don't hold your breath.
So I like the introduction to Jennifer, and the way it goes along with the beginning with when Patricia got her wrist slit. I like the aspect of it where like everyone thinks that these kids are suicidal or they're like, you know, what was the word, masochist. You know, they think that she's just burning herself, but she's doing it to stay awake and stay alive.
Yeah.
They do a really good job introducing all of these characters in this movie, setting each one up.
Well, one of the things I was going to say that I like about this movie, though, is like the whole thing where the way everything's done, it makes it seem like they are suicidal. And you can believe that with many of their deaths, except for with Jennifer.
Yeah, she was Michael Jordan hops.
He's got a good hope on
it's
her,
true.
Pretty
they're able to define these characters without being too heavy-handed and corny or cliche about it. Like, I believe.
Did she really kick him? Because he went down good. And then Max gets cut. Now, this was her first scene, wasn't it? Patricia's?
First thing she shot?
Yeah, first thing she shot, yeah.
Maybe.
I think
she has she has the best scream in the fucking franchise, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that's probably true.
Stay away, Larry Fishburne.
Tina's scream's pretty good, though, too. What an entrance.
Yeah.
Hello, Nancy.
Of course, being a kid, fresh off seeing 1 and 2, I see this one, and Nancy's back. I didn't even realize she was going to be. I never saw any previews for it. I'd seen that in the theater as a 6-year-old kid, and her come back. So I was like, it's Nancy, the hero.
And Bill Maher.
I think that every time I see this.
I remember seeing, was he in House 2? Is that the one? Wait,
House
one of
2, yeah.
He was in. I remember, like, is that the same? Is that the same dude from Dream Warriors?
They look very similar.
They do look similar. Bill Maher was a dick in House 2.
He was a cool dude record producer or something, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Trying to find the newest sensation.
He just sat down.
Pew Splits and the Avoiders.
What wasn't it from the Poltergeist when the mom had the string of gray hair?
Yeah, the first Poltergeist. Yeah, after the events of everything.
So she has that weird.
She went to
weird string of gray hair.
The thing about this one is the streak in her hair was on the other side in the original. They messed up on this one.
Thanks a lot, effects team.
Wow.
Way to go.
That was in Screaming Mad George's hands. Or I don't know if he was on this one.
It's Drew Carey's boss. Anybody watch the Drew Carey show?
Yeah.
The lady in that show used to give me nightmares more than anything in horror movies.
His co-worker?
That's the same actress.
God.
Hello.
That right, Cool Breeze?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne is so natural in this movie. Like the way he the way he talks and interacts with everyone.
Completely authentic.
Yeah.
But he always is. I mean, he's one of the best. He's just an incredible actor.
Yeah.
I remember I liked him in this, but when I saw him as Furious in Boys in the Hood a few years after this, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, my earliest recollection, other than the ones he's been known for, is that Cadence that he did.
Yeah.
With, that's a really good movie.
Great guy.
Overlooked movie right there.
It is. I don't think it's on DVD or Blu-ray, is it?
Yeah, I don't even think it's available. I'd love to have a copy.
I would too.
Who else was in that? Who else was? Yeah, I knew Charlie and Lawrence. Who else was in it? Or any other? It's been so long since I've seen it. Martin's in it.
His dad's in it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it since the 90s.
What's his name? The guy that just plays Philip. I'm forgetting his first name. The guy that plays Philip, yeah, I met him at a show and did a Q&A, and like he did a lot of. He was in like Lonesome Dove, and of course, Stand By Me. And, Last Crusade, and he became really good friends with River Phoenix, and he gave up acting because after River died, because they were really, really close, and it hit him really hard. Bradley Gregg,
yeah.
Yeah.
He played Eyeball.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he has a lot of big stuff. The Fisher King was one of kind of a bigger movie.
Oh yeah, I mean, I asked him, I was, man, you got to work with Robert Duvall and Lonesome Dove, and he just talked about how amazing it was to work with that guy. It's one of my favorite actors. So. The
Explorers, oh my God, he was in that too. You ever watch that one?
That was a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
He always kind of reminded me of the kid that was in Just One of the Guys.
Yeah, the brother.
Played her brother. Yeah,
taught her how to walk like a guy.
Yeah, all balls itch.
Yeah, all balls itch. I love that movie. I'm glad you guys know about that movie. I always felt like I was the only one who ever watched that movie. It popped up on Vudu for $5 a couple weeks ago. I bought it immediately and watched like 3 times.
I used to watch that all the time. James Brown drives me crazy.
Chris Hall says the opening from Nightmare 1 is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, we're talking openings. Leave us your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street opening in the comments, please. We are in Kristen's room with Nancy right now. If you're watching at home, catch up.
The first 5 openings are all excellent, really.
Freddy's Dead has a good opening, too. Come on.
What was the opening in that one? Is that the whole...
With John Doe on the plane and...
Yeah.
All that good stuff. The house is falling through the sky. Freddy's a witch.
Right, Freddy the Witch. That's a top-notch moment.
Yeah.
Look at that computer.
That's what I got here, actually.
Bill Maher working on the next set.
I remember computers like that when I was in like grade school. God.
Most of them were green and black, though, weren't they? This is like...
Yeah, the screens were like green. And
he's got a right PDR.doc document going here. Man, that's some high-tech stuff.
No, still.
1986. Got a nice little apartment. Little cubby for his computer. This is a great scene.
Yeah, I love the tricycle. I've been trying to buy one of that model. just to have, because it became such an this movie, it really plays on the iconic imagery of the film, because this was the first movie that kind of goes into a more surreal. The set buildings were different; they're not as real world, and then stuff like, of course, the house became just part of the symbolism of the series. It doesn't really, I guess, it plays a factor in this one, but the tricycle became part of the imagery of Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street as well.
Look at the shadows when it comes in and then it just sits there. The trail of blood, so good.
The great blue lighting. I was doing a lot of blue lighting and orange last week. I returned to filmmaking on Saturday, and hey, we're pulling out the Dean Cundy blues over here.
Are you guys getting closer?
Yeah, we've got about 40% of it done. Still quite a while to go. Going back this Saturday to shoot again. I've been running around all day buying costumes and shit. This part here, when she screams in this sequence.
That's a real pig.
George Lynch is about to break through a wall. And that's his name of the guitarist from Dawkins, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that the video incorporated that scene and had him break through the wall playing his skull guitar.
And she smiles after being terrified.
Yeah.
If you've never seen Never Sleep Again, the documentary, it's a must. You get a lot of good inside stories.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder.
Wish they would do one of them for Halloween.
A commentary?
Huh?
For Halloween 6? Yeah, Halloween 6. Absolutely, Halloween 6. I'm just going to say it till it comes true.
So we just didn't see stuff like this in the other slasher films. This is just stuff just makes Nightmare cut above the rest, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was writing I did a kill count for the Nightmare series the other day, and while I'm writing it, because I rewatched everything, and this is not, it's barely a slasher in my opinion. These movies, I think they're together.
By the way, Nancy.
Chomp, Freddy, chomp.
By the way, Nancy, to me, Heather never looked prettier than this sequence. There's just something about her look with the hair pulled back.
Yeah, I love that.
Nancy.
Very comfortable. Looks like she's done well for herself.
And she's in. Tag team.
If I'm right, she's about maybe 23 here.
How much time has passed since the first movie, though? You think?
Yeah, it's supposed to be more, I think. Because she was only like 15 in the first movie, and she's like a college graduate maybe here. Is that what it is?
Saw there's a website I found that's dedicated to Nightmare on Elm Street, and like they had a timeline, and they basically, with everything put together, the first Elm Street actually takes place in 1980.
So yeah, somebody said it's 81, and I said, well, I could be a nerd and tell you that Evil Dead would not be playing on Nancy's TV in 1981.
That's true.
And also, like, someone goes, well, it could be a TV spot. And I said, and there's also a Police Synchronicity poster on Nancy's wall that came out in 83. I crushed some guys. Like, he just like, fuck you. He was like, oh, it's 81. Like, that's when Wes wrote it. Like, I don't care when he wrote it.
Yeah, the timelines, I don't like. The actual year it takes place doesn't matter as much to me. It's more like how the distance apart. I want to know.
I like how he said 81's when Wes wrote. I'm like, writing a script and set design has nothing to do with each other almost.
Yeah, I could have wrote it in 52. I don't care.
Any comments? Any recent comments?
Andre Bickley When I was younger, for some reason, I always thought Corey Feldman was a young version of the guy who played Philip. Lol.
They have a similar look, especially with the hair.
Maybe they should have done that in Stand By Me.
I guess I could see that.
He was River Phoenix's brother in Stand By Me.
So when we talked to Ken Sagos a couple weeks ago, this was the first time they actually got together. Was this scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his first scene.
He shines in this scene too, in my opinion.
Well, just seeing him crying in a corner, like when in the padded room.
Penelope's the only one I haven't met out of the Dream Warrior.
No, they were
Doesn't do a
all
lot
at,
of shows.
they were all in Indianapolis a couple years ago. All of them.
What do you mean, at Horror Hound?
Yeah, no, it was Days of the Dead.
I mean, at Horror Hound, I got a photo up with all of them, but she was the only one that wasn't there.
Yeah, she was. I saw her at where I could only afford to see the ones I really wanted to, so I met Ken and Nancy, or Heather. My niece got to meet Jennifer Rubin.
Jennifer's fun.
There, they were all there.
Jennifer and I fought. I was cosplaying as Freddy, and we fought in the green room at one show. I think I mentioned it before. She said that Bradley and I were pussies and wouldn't fight me.
He seems very insightful.
Which one, Ira? Oh, it's my favorite line. Great, now it's my dick that's killing me. I used to think he said Nance. Great Nance, my dick is killing me. Playing Dungeons and Dragons. Or a version of it, I guess. Wizard Master. Anybody play Dungeons and Dragons growing up?
I
No.
did.
No, sir.
I
No,
played
sir.
it every day during lunch in high school.
And look, I never noticed there's a Strike Gremlins piece on the bulletin board behind them. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never did play Dungeons and Dragons. I bought the books because I liked the artwork. Like Larry Elmore and Jeff Easley and all those guys were like early influences on me artistically. I had the Art of Dragonlance book, and that was like my Bible for. And luckily, I liked Larry Elmore's from where my family originates in Litchfield, Kentucky, or Grayson County, Kentucky. So I got to meet him when I was a teenager, or like maybe 12. You painted a lot for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I played a couple of years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, with my brother-in-law, who plays religiously. Well, not religious. That's every Friday. Him and his friends get together and they have like a
my buddy Jason Slater, who I used to. We went to there's like that picture of me with the tape that I talked about earlier, and he's dressed as Jason from Part 6. He got us to do it. Played Dungeons and Dragons. He was big into it in high school. And I think he killed off one of my friend's character. My friend got so pissed he punched the wall, put a hole in the wall. I said, "Yeah, we're not playing this shit again."
Yeah, because that's for keeps. You build up a character for a long time, and if they die, they're done. You got to start a new character.
Now we got Bill Maher whining and dining Nancy.
And the only Thai food in Springwood.
Apparently, it was in the original script that they were supposed to have
drinking coffee.
a relationship.
Sorry, I just noticed that. I never noticed she was drinking coffee. He was drinking beer. Go ahead.
Seth, they had a relationship in the Wes Craven version script, didn't they? Or did they hook up?
Yeah, kind of. His whole motivation in that script was to get down her pants.
I don't blame him.
I think they did. I think they.
Did they do the deed?
Yeah.
They get down.
Yep.
Dirty deeds.
Dr. Gordon took Nancy to Pound Town. Took her from the best Thai food in Springwood to Pound Town.
He's no Tom Atkins, I say. Because Tom Atkins, he'd have been. They wouldn't even gone to the restaurant. He'd have been like, "What's your name again?" In the ward, you know. He's like, Atkins would have taken him into the quiet room. Yeah.
Oh yeah. God, imagine if this movie had him as Dr. Gordon rather than this guy.
Totally different movie.
If he was the doctor, then there'd be all those theories that this and Halloween 3 are connected, and he's the same doctor.
With no, I would, yeah, Dr. Chalice.
Here we go. One of the most imaginative. Let's just put it on another level. This sequence.
So
my favorite part of this whole movie.
Still wish I had one of them puppets.
I'm gonna build one. Like I said, I got the head part.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make one.
NECA had one in production for ages.
Bomb
and
it.
it got completely canceled.
This is the beginning of my favorite kill of the Dream Masters. I know everybody has their own, but this kill is my favorite.
And this is really good stop motion work.
Mm-hmm.
That the whole transformation of the face and the hand is really well done.
I just love how creative it was.
Yeah. And just hard to watch. It's one of the most gory scenes in the series.
And the fact that, you know, they all get to watch it happen too, like, you know. I mean, they obviously don't see what he sees, but they see him, you know.
Yeah, and he kind of waits to kill them, you know, like to make sure. I mean, it kind of shows his sadistic side. Little Run DMC on the wall there. Have a nice stroll, asshole.
They had to wrap his stuff up for lunch around his arms, the veins.
It must have been a pain in the ass to maintain that stuff for Bradley. Yeah. I mean, that's a very invasive makeup to have to wear.
And it looks great, especially the feet.
Yeah. Oh, it still sells. It still holds up. I mean, that right there, the green screen stuff's a little dated, but you can forgive it.
The score is really good in the scene too.
I have to be honest, this is one of my least favorite scores in the series.
No, yeah. Same here, but the sound of when Philip is walking, you know, I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
it's got that rubber
parts
band,
of it.
Almost, you pull a string and you know the reverberation or whatever.
Yeah,
but I do agree. When I listen to the soundtrack, just alone without the film, I don't really care for the soundtrack. But yeah, like you say, Seth, there's a lot of little touches that are good on it.
Yeah.
I really love Christopher Young's second film. Yeah. And of course the original with Burns, Charles, and I like the Part 4 soundtrack a lot.
Yeah.
Are the other rooms empty?
They make it seem like in this institution there's literally only these guys.
Say green screen. It was probably blue back then. I believe these blue screens.
I think this one does have some of the most inventive kills ever, period. You really push the envelope for the rest of the series. Because most of them in 2 were like just stabbings, which were only like 3. My daughter keeps sending me stuff.
Love Kincaid in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big tough badass. Like he's in denial. It's really cool. Like he's like I talked about on the show with Ken. It's like his fear and his real feelings are really coming through, even though he's being a tough guy. You could see that he is actually terrified, and his actions are out of that fear, the desperation of like, you're not putting me to sleep. I'm not doing this. Like, remind me, I was listening to Ice-T was on Mark Maron recently, and he's talking about COVID. People are like, "Oh, you scared? You scared?" And he's like, "Man, my gangster can't beat this thing." You can't beat up COVID. No matter where I come from, what I've been through. So yeah, your gangster can't beat Freddy Krueger or Dream Demon. But if they had just gotten like, you know, big tough guy to play like Kincaid like they wanted, just sort of, I don't, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, no, he's great here. I do wish for part 4 they gave him the death that he was supposed to have.
Yeah, all of the one in West was so messed up. I actually told him about that on the panel I did with him years ago, and like he had never heard it, and it was just when I read that in the script, like, damn, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, you want to talk about it, Seth?
Oh man, I would say just go to thehorrorsyndicate.com. I have I broke it down there. To be honest with you, like I love this movie, but I would have preferred the original script. It's so dark and it's really good.
Well, give us the cliff notes.
All right, the cliff notes is.
Yep, take a drink. Come on.
Kincaid dies.
He gets stuck he gets stuck between the dream world and the real world in a wall, and Freddy pushes his claw through Kincaid on the other side and comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Into reality.
Yeah, and then it splits Kincaid's body in half.
Is it the effect? Did they run out of money?
They just change it. It's like Seth said, the original Wes Craven Bruce Wagner script is very fucking dark. Very. I mean, even some of the lines, like Freddy, like Wes was definitely hanging on to the perverted, awful human being that Freddy was supposed to be. I mean, like one of the lines that stuck out in my head was he says something to Kincaid about "your little asshole is mine." I mean, they really pushed that. He's calling people cunts and all kinds of, like, it's really maintaining the original vision of Freddy Krueger, which is not your anti-hero, being on Dick Cavett show, pop culture character.
I gotta tell you, there's a huge difference between saying your little ass is mine and your little asshole is mine. Yuck.
Yeah. Well, same asshole is what it said. It's totally. It's like that's what. Yeah, that little addition is a completely different sentence.
I'm just, I'm curious about how the series would have been if they stuck with that original version of the script.
To be completely honest, I feel like it wouldn't have done commercially as well.
I don't think it would have been as successful.
Really? Why not?
Just because this all goes towards like the teens and then it got to the MTV era, and that's what made it blow up and get more money and more sequels. And if it was dark,
I don't think the characters were I don't think Taryn and all them were as established to me in the original script. I think it was more about Nancy and her dad and the girl in the farmhouse, which I guess is supposed to be the Kristen character. Is it? And I like this. This is a little nice addition of how you get these staff who are what women put up with. I mean, this guy's harassment.
He's trying to shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking advantage, and he probably has raped or attacked some girls in this that he's supposed to be taking care of. And unfortunately, we hear stories that this stuff happens.
It seems like they have a past relationship.
Yeah, he's probably taking advantage of it
trying
for
to get better finally.
We're about to go prime time, kids.
Yep.
Her early days when she hadn't kicked it yet.
Yeah, that's what I assume. Smoking butts. What kind of place would have an ashtray for her to be able to do that?
I wonder what she was watching on TV. Something real or something made for the film. or want something that New Line owned.
What was the thing that came up before the Dick Cavett show? It like looked like a guy with ice cream or like a
It's a really small TV.
I was watching The Burbs one year before The Burbs was made. I think on the TV it says Kruger or something on it, doesn't it? Like a logo instead of like Zenith. Like on the bottom.
Yeah, I see.
Right.
I know my NECA version does.
I think the original does.
You said NECA.
Did you pronounce it right, Keith?
No, I pronounced it to make Ray's heart feel better.
Yeah, my boy. That's my boy.
So he doesn't have acid in the back of his throat.
I love the sound too. Her leading up to the TV.
Yeah, the noises, the kids screaming, and
distortion coming out of the TV. Yeah, that TV does look tiny.
For being like set up on the wall.
Well, TVs weren't big back then.
Or they were way too big and heavy as motherfuckers.
Right.
They're pushing up a fake head and vacuum, like sucking it in with a vacuum. Such this shit, man. This was so amazing the first time I saw it.
It's still amazing.
Yeah. Michael Jordan. She's only about 1.5 feet off the ground. She can do that.
She's pretty high up.
Larry, you were not.
I still love the GIF, Nate, that both of us did of our faces as her face.
I got a couple comments. Andre Bickley says, yeah, there was also a moment in the original script where Freddy walks a 13-year-old Philip to his death, but right before Freddy pushes Philip into the street, he gets hit by a car. Philip asks, why me? And Freddy replies, because I like you.
Interesting.
Chris Hall said, it definitely would have been more cult if the darker version was filmed.
They should make it now.
Selena says, when he smashed the girl through the TV, that was my favorite scene.
That's where we just passed that.
It's a good one.
And Andre also said, Freddy was not meant to be a marketable character in the original script of this movie. Very vulgar and perverted. I just don't know how the special effects team would have been able to pull off the original stuff Wes wrote in the script.
Well, Robert Shaven said that Wes's script was too ambitious and it would have cost too much. He did say that in Never Sleep Again, so. But this movie is the one that really catapulted Freddy into pop culture, I think.
I think when people think of Fred Krueger or Freddy, the character, they think of this one. Yeah. Visually, like this and Dream Master.
Yeah, my son asked me that yesterday. What Freddy is the one I think of the most, or the way he looks, because he's like, he watched him with me. He's like, he changed a lot through each movie, and I was like, yeah. I think the fourth one is the one I think of the most, his makeup on that one, because it was like the culmination of years of building up to the character.
Yeah, I mean, so much so that sometimes you get casual fans when they see images of him from the first movie, they're like, where's the stripes?
Yeah,
on the sleeves. Like, they forget it.
Somebody said that about your movie, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, there's only have stripes on the sleeves.
That didn't happen in the second movie.
All right,
I'm surprised no one.
I'm gonna make a display for my glove with the sleeve coming up on the bottom. I'm just waiting for someone to comment and be like, "Why doesn't it have stripes?"
So that's the first movie glove.
Yeah.
Made by Brian Sills and made the glove in my movie. I want one of those Malaysian dream dolls. I haven't seen anybody make a replica of that. Somebody has to have made it. There's been everything.
There's your $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Start an Etsy shop.
I'm running out of answers.
I tell you, these between Nancy and Neil, they both have nice places. It looks like. Sorry, I pay attention to the decorum.
You got a candle on in there? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Something. Fireplace, maybe.
It's a fireplace.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. It's fireplace.
Man, it's very romantic.
I think me and Nate are like synced up perfectly almost.
And then I saw a little like they're playing a rain effect with the lighting in the back.
Where did they shoot the interior scenes for Weston Hills? Like,
I'm sure it was a sound stage.
Okay, because it looks genuine.
Although, yeah,
especially
some
the
of it
windows
does.
and the lighting and everything.
I would say some of the rooms are sets. The hallways and all that, of course, probably maybe East LA or some location.
Yeah, on location. Yeah.
Was Cheech Marin there? He was born in East LA.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I mean that set right there would be very hard to build for them. It's really cheap and easy, and they'd have more control over it, and they wouldn't have to deal with the school. Although they could have shot it there if it was during, when school's not in. If the movie came out in February, they may have been shooting it summer, fall.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think they were rushing them so much, they probably shot it like all the way up to like the
probably
end of
shot it in
1986. Yeah.
I love that line.
You are the last of the Elm Street children.
Which doesn't make any sense. It's like a great line, but they're like Elm Street played nothing into the whole thing originally. So that's why I like it, because it's a great line, but they're not the Elm Street children, they're the Springwood children.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't all live on Elm Street.
Elm Street spans the entire town, Nate. Come on, it's 17 miles long.
It's just one street.
It's one street. That's all Springwood is.
Well, that's one of the things I liked about the original script too. Going back to that, is all the kids were not from Springwood,
yeah,
from all over, and they were all being drawn to this one place where the ranch house was.
Hey, maybe their parents used to live on Elm Street.
And their parents had nothing to do with Freddy's death, right? They were just they were like special warriors that were kind of chosen to fight evil, kind of thing. Like
because each one of them, they survived Freddy beforehand.
Yeah. Which I mean, I don't know if I like that they're just kind of these X-Men characters that are chosen to come there, or that they are also part of the people who lynched Freddy Krueger.
Does that make Heather Professor X?
Yeah. There was a line in the script from her father about there's a whole speech that he was giving her about leading these dream warriors into battle with Freddy. But it didn't have any of that fantasy element that this movie does, so.
It should make an animated movie.
Yeah, if I remember right, Taryn was supposed to be kind of a quiet black girl. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Kincaid was white, right? In the original screenplay.
Yeah.
I don't think some of these characters weren't in it.
Like Will, and there was a character named Joey, but the Will and Joey in here, they were mostly like this other character called Laredo.
Yeah, that's right. It's been years since I read it.
Yeah,
but I remember because like the book that influenced Confession was the Nightmare on Elm Street Companion, and when I got that, when that book came out, this one hadn't been finalized yet, so there was an outline, like chapter in the book about Part 3, and I remember it was different. It was even different from the Wes Craven Wagner script. If you want, I don't know if you have that book, Seth, but I could send you that. But I remember it was a little different. It was kind of like, I guess, the draft between Craven's and Durabont's shooting script, and Chuck Russell's.
I'll have to check that out.
I have to go back and look at it, but I remember reading like this isn't like Part 3. It's a little different.
There's no beautiful nurse with her boobs out.
Yeah.
Especially not a night nurse.
Now this is gonna be like the one time my kids are gonna come into the living room.
And now it's daytime.
And pause it right when. Did you guys ever see the pictures of her with the Freddy head?
Oh gosh.
No, yeah. This is definitely that was definitely a set, a room that Joey and her are in.
Well, it was nighttime, and now it's daytime in his room.
This is a nice little scene.
Dr. Gordon's
Uplifting.
They shockingly did a very good job of Heather tracking the ball across the screen for back in the day using.
Remember how you don't know how movies work? Like, oh my God, he stood. How did they do that? He was crippled.
What about his glasses? My goodness.
I had glasses like that to the 90s. They were always.
Why would they need to make lenses that big?
They were so big back in the day. Thank God they made glasses smaller.
It was probably just the manufacturing. It was probably easier. We didn't have all the computers to do everything smaller.
I'm gonna do a flip.
Kristen can do gymnastics in her dreams.
Kate has an endless supply of sleeveless sweatshirts. I noticed his sweatshirts have like a very.
They look like rags.
They're very textured. Yeah, they're not like regular sweatshirts.
Yeah, it looks like they made a towel.
Is it inside out? It looks like it's inside out.
Maybe it is. Yeah, you might be right.
It might have had like a logo or
it might be because the seams are probably on the shoulders there. I never know.
I'm a bad bitch.
There's probably like some popular brand. They're like,
what's her tag say? Does it say anything?
The nurse?
Yeah, I was never looking at her tags, dude. What are you looking at her tags for?
We'll be looking at her tags in just a minute.
There are titties on screen, guys, for those who can't see.
Yeah. I don't want you guys to see me while this is happening.
Close your eyes, children.
I know I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as some titties.
Do you like my body, Joey?
Thong in it. So this would be what, like the tongue thing.
Okay, she's using too much tongue.
The tongue thing became a kind of a part of the nightmare thing too, because he licked his tongue, the tongue phone, part 2, Jesse's tongue.
Oh
his
yeah.
Tongue, new nightmare. Yeah.
It was just like frozen on Seth's face for like that whole scene, and he just had a big grin.
No, he knows who's watching. He knows who's watching. So I can't ever be attracted to that nurse because I know she turns into Freddy. There's no way. Talk about fake boobs. Oh.
Rodney talked about this at the panel about being tied up and left like that, because it's really, he goes, basically that's what crucifixion kills you, like being in that situation. And he was left like that. And he goes, I think that's why they cast us young kids to do these parts.
Yeah, he says that in Never Sleep Again. Yeah.
So was Freddy the original catfisher?
Yeah. So you should listen to Dwight Schrute. He could have saved you from touching that door.
Kevin McAllister on the other side.
Tap it. Is it warm?
Get down on the ground. Roll around.
Oh, Andre Bickley says Freddy taunts Sheila by shaking his tongue in Nightmare 4.
Oh, yeah.
Freddy, he's likes to use the tongue.
I think that's something I think Robert improvised on the first movie, and Wes loved it. So yeah, do more of that. You sick bastard.
Of course, Chris Hall chimes in on the nude scene. The nurse scene was the first female nudity in the series. This series really didn't need it. And then the lady in the bed is the last one, isn't she?
I wonder if they got the tongue thing because, like, speaking of like pop culture, like popular stuff back in the day, or if they're like Gene Simmons is popular, let's just keep doing tongue things.
Yeah, they got a little more like, I mean, there's suggestions. Like you could kind of see that Tina's kind of nude under her nightgown, that opening, just from the silhouette, and then Alice in the beginning of part 5 is
you don't get to actually see the flesh.
No, it's there. What did Lisa say? Because it's a double. She's like, I can see the triangle.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Heather's naked in the tub. I don't know if it's Heather, but when they're coming up in the water, you could.
I don't think it is. Yeah, you can see some side boob.
Yeah, you can see a little Jaws nudity there. Jaws style.
I wish it was Heather. I don't think it is though. That asshole.
Nurse Ratchet. Now she gets a bad rep, but she actually really does care about these kids.
Oh
yeah.
Isn't that Sue Snell's mom?
Yeah, she's Amy Irving's real mother.
I remember growing up watching this. I always hated the nurse because I'm like, you're a complete bitch. But you have to look at it from a reality point of view and not you knowing what the hell's going on in the movie point of view.
Well, Neil Gordon is buying into what Nancy's selling, and then he sees it happen. She's on the outside doing her job, you know. Being relieved of duty is a nice way of saying you're fucking canned, asshole.
A juice box. See, Tom Atkins would have a beer in that shot.
It's true. He was able to take them off campus.
all that just made me think of was the Ringer when they bring them all back. Like, when the fuck did we get ice cream?
So is Amanda Cruz standing where Philip went off the ledge?
Is
that what it looks like? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And in part 5, they have her. That's where she's trapped, isn't it? Like her ghost.
Well, that place isn't gothic enough.
If it's the same building, yeah.
I'd imagine it's supposed to be.
It's extremely run down by the time 5 comes around.
Was this supposed to be where the asylum was too, Weston?
I think so. But she's roaming more than just the halls of Weston Hills. She's roaming the cemeteries too. But her grave is there.
That's how she does it. She just goes where she wants.
Yeah.
But she's locked she's locked in the tower in the 5th one. Because something changed.
There's always been my thing with like spirits in movies. Like you can walk around and do all this shit, but you can't just tell me where the hell your body is.
I can't tell you that. You gotta figure that out. Otherwise, we don't have them. We have nothing for Kelly.
So that means her grave. There's no body in the grave.
We had to get Kelly Jo Mint or something to do.
Hey, that was a good side story.
Yeah.
He did have some really great sets that are very simple, but they're very effective.
Yeah, that right there is all lighting and just shit just piled in.
Yeah.
It's and then Mick String. When I talked to Mick, who did the art, direction and production design on this, I'd say, and so how did you build this? What was all that? He goes, oh, it's chicken wire and spray painted red, and they're not as impressive as you think you're seeing what you're seeing in it. Yeah, and that's what's really like that changes everything about filmmaking once you start. Like it's just what's in that frame and what's really there, and like because you think, oh, I need a whole set. Like no, you don't. You need that wall and that wall. I mean, you need this and that and that.
This shot here is mostly just Amanda in white with almost a black background. She's completely lit.
It's like a table and a box back there.
Yeah,
and
it took me a while to learn that when I've been doing toy photography, because I would be like, I need this giant thing to make it look like a real world, and I'm like, I'm not gonna put half of this in a camera.
Yeah.
And it's just random bullshit spray painted to look like junk.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd they make her so old?
She died when she was young, right?
Yeah, she died when she was young. Well, is this some kind of phantasm thing where she can?
They didn't know where it was going, I guess. Maybe.
And this is the movie that kind of ruins the whole idea that Freddy was an old guy, because people want to have a prequel with Robert playing the character, and a prequel now at 73, and it's like, well, if they establish that Freddy was born in the 40s, because they said the whole incident took place in the 40s in this movie, so that means. When he was killing kids, he was in his 20s. And when they killed him, he's 30, if not 28 or so.
He wouldn't have had time to get married and have a kid for Freddy's dead.
No, fuck that movie.
You heard it here first. Well, so it had been the 60s, right? When all the killing happened.
Yeah.
The teen, if Nancy was 15 by 80-81, that lines up pretty well, right? Freddy would have been burnt in the 60s, early 70s, maybe?
Yeah.
Early 70s. When is your movie?
I set mine in 73 when they catch them and they burn them in the early 74. And because in the edited version or one of the deleted scenes in the original movie, Glenn's dad tells Thompson, "This reminds me of 10 years ago." And so I set mine in 84. So I say they lynched them in 74 in my version.
Reminds me of 10 years ago. Wish his dad was more like that in the actual movie. His dad was a jerk.
Yeah, that'd be stern with these kids.
Yeah.
They never showed Joey's scars in the next one.
Well, no, because that was in his head. That didn't actually happen.
It didn't?
No. Plus, I think Joey always has a shirt on.
Yeah, he's not shirtless in a second.
Nope, but the girl in his waterbed is. Oh,
certainly was. Oh, Billy, I don't know.
One of my favorite parts about that scene is the MTV commercial.
Yeah,
I remember that fucking commercial.
Feed the fish. Feed the fish.
Yeah,
I forgot what that dude's name was. I mean,
I don't know, but I remember him on MTV a lot back then.
Yeah, like the Jimi Hendrix weirdo.
Yeah, they showed him quite a bit too. Oh, what'd she hit her with?
With a shoe.
I think it was a stapler or something. Who the frick throws a frickin' shoe?
She just doesn't know what to do, with these
little
kids.
Nemos. I need a bar like that for my movie. Can I have that one?
There's a bar like that down here in town.
Is there? We
Yeah,
get like
it's
every
got all
bar
that
is
wood
like
paneling and.
Oh man, like I can't find
on.
I need a bar like that because my film's set in '86 and every fucking bar just is so updated now.
Mm-hmm.
You should come here. That's the same way.
Big screen TVs everywhere.
Oh, we've got a few bars here that are like this.
A lot of parts in Kentucky like have dry counties and shit, so there's like no
Hell,
bar.
don't look for a bar. Look for like someone's basement, because there's a lot of old basements that used to be like bars. They have the wood paneling and the old TVs up.
You'd have to block things very, very like close, probably. In
it
a
depends on what you're going for.
Yeah, I need a wide such. Don.
Yeah, this is I love him so much.
Yeah. My little baby come to see her daddy.
His reaction in New Nightmare when she says when he flips it into his character.
When he calls her Nancy. I love
that so much.
Fred Krueger is dead.
He was key in that movie too. I don't think he's really appreciated his character in New Nightmare. He's extremely key in that movie.
Oh yeah.
At least the lead up to the end of the movie.
Yeah, and like after his line in this, that's what I named the sequel to Confession. Is Fred Krueger is dead, and it's when they kill him.
What do you make?
You mean that movie you need to make?
Yeah.
Do it.
We have talked about, like, if anybody's interested, comment. We've talked about doing a live reading with Kevin and a few other actors and doing the script as an episode. The unpublished, unproduced film sequel to Confession of Fred Krueger.
I just think you need to make it.
Nice.
The Horror Syndicate presents Fred Krueger's Dead. I love it. Where's my good rag?
It feels like a hallway, but that's where Jennifer's TV, the burnt out TV's on the wall.
I like Kincaid's inspecting it.
Yeah, that That's weird that that's where the Brent TV is, but that room looks fucking massive compared to the.
It looks massive. I don't think it looked that way when she
No,
dies.
I think they had a false wall up or something.
Yeah, it's like
she might be next to a wall though. If you think about it.
Yeah, I think the staff or they just shit, we got to shoot this on this set and our floating wall. We need that background. No one will ever see that.
People don't analyze things.
No, not horror fans.
While we're,
I remember I had to, like the first movie I made. I had another director, and he said that because they were like supposed to be, we're supposed to have 13 girls, and only 8 showed up because that's how independent films are. He goes, "Oh, no one will ever notice." I'm like, you don't know horror fans. Yeah, I'm supposed to like just say that there were 13 girls there when we only saw 8.
Kristen's in the quiet room. If anybody has any suggestions for the next movie we do, let us know in the comments if you're enjoying this at all. I am.
I'm enjoying it.
I am too.
So I said I haven't been able to watch horror movies with a group of friends in all fucking decades probably.
I didn't think about it that way. We're just hanging out watching a movie, talking about it together.
Yeah.
Let's do this instead of a show.
I do have some other ideas for future ones I'll talk to you guys about later.
No, just tell us now.
Tell you now?
So that the people can hear and kind of say, no, you're out of your mind.
Well, what other people have been doing with this is literally just having a Discord room, putting everybody in it, and we can all watch the movie together, but we can still just stream ourselves as commentary if they don't want to come in the Discord room. We can actually watch it together, and then the people can actually come in and actually see the movie.
There's supposed to be a part 4 reunion thing going on tomorrow. I think like a Zoom thing. I got a notification of it.
Yeah, I think part 4. They did a part 2, or well, it wasn't a reunion thing, but they did a big watch party of part 2.
Oh,
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw Mark Patton posting about it.
But I would definitely be down for watching Curse.
We are watching the wrong movie. Because part 4 was released 32 years ago yesterday. We probably should have watched it.
We can do that. I got the shirt on. I got Dream Master shirt.
I know. I'm a little jealous of that shirt.
I just got it at Spencer's last weekend, man. So if you got Spencer's in town.
Is it just long sleeve, or do they have a sleeve like a
Yeah,
sleeve?
they just have the long sleeve.
I can't wear a long sleeve t-shirt.
I've seen one of those at Walmart.
Arms are too massive.
I've got the Freddy Hotline shirt on.
It's the guns that get me. I gotta let them free.
You have those tight little fucking long sleeve shirts. Yeah. You can just kinkade it and cut them off. You know?
I'm like Dwight. Cuts off my reaction skills or whatever.
If I'm dead, you've been dead for weeks.
Anybody out there, let us know what you want us to watch. I want to watch more. Halloween 6 would be fun, but maybe the first one would probably be better.
Phantasm. I'm down.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think if we're going to do Halloween, we should do the third one.
The third? Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'm in on that.
Yes.
I'm totally in on that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do one of these a month, or if they become more popular, we could do more. But so let's pick one for September. We'll do Halloween 3 in October, if that's okay with you.
A Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, we haven't actually covered anything with Friday.
We haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Nothing, Jason.
So what you're saying is we should watch New Blood.
There's a reason that we haven't done Friday the 13th. Nate hates it. He told me.
I don't know.
No.
This is actually the perfect thing with Friday is to watch them with a bunch of buddies.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun to watch.
I think they're party movies to me.
So you want to do Friday the 13th next? Which one?
I vote New Blood.
I don't vote that one.
I think part 6 is real fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right,
my favorite.
Speaking my language.
That's my favorite, but it's a fun movie.
I did something like this like a couple years ago. I had a couple friends come over, and I mean we were all in the same room, but we had pizza and beer, and we watched Friday 6, Elm
Damn
Street
it! I was
4,
gonna get pizza rolls.
Elm Street 4, Halloween 4. Yeah, it was a good time.
I would say that's a good lineup right there. First of all, my favorite sequels of each of the it. Well, anyway, I think we should do Jason Lives. That is the Dream Warriors of the series, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
And Halloween 3 would be a lot of fun.
Go kick the motherfucker's ass all over Dreamland.
What about Evil Dead 2 or Dead Alive?
Evil Dead 2 would be great.
Yeah.
Dead Alive, I don't know if that would be as fun.
Yeah. Now here's something I didn't bring up when Ken was on the show, but all these people die but Ken. And think about that. A young black man with rage problems wakes up, is found in a room with three dead white people.
Yeah. You don't think about that.
He wouldn't be in high school next year.
No. But how do they explain each one of them's deaths?
Freddy killed him. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing they don't really go into a lot of these movies is like the aftermath of explaining everything to the police.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some people have like noticeable cuts, like Tina. You can see the cuts actually happen. These people,
I guess Taryn overdoses. He gets stabbed though, right? He gets stabbed in the chest, and Nancy gets stabbed in the gut.
But where's the weapon? They can't.
Yeah, where's the weapon?
Yeah.
So we need a movie with the trial of Kincaid, Roland Kincaid, and he got off because he couldn't prove it.
Yeah, couldn't find the weapon.
Shit, Kristen.
This ain't my dreamland.
Just so you know, when we go off air, I'm putting Dream Master in, so can't watch one without the other, in my opinion.
Hey, what time is it, by the way?
What time is it?
8:35.
Yeah. 7:35. 8:35.
So you got an hour and a half.
Cool.
Into the fire again. Come on.
Into the fire.
I played that a lot.
Get the markers and put them tops on the marker. You're gonna be high, babe. Andale. Yeah, she's a character in the sequel to Confession, and she says Andale in there.
Oh, really?
I wrote it that the Parker, like her dad, was the mayor of Springwood.
Yeah, you should make that. You should, maybe not now, but like eventually, I think you should make it. How long of script is it?
It's about the same. It's like 12 Angry Men in Nightmare on Elm Street, Planet World.
You guys always say I spend too much money. I can just spend more money and help.
Need the budget. Where's the fucking bourbon?
I have the Tuxedo Freddy holding her head, the action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, me too. And I got to do the artwork for the NECA one, the
cloth figure one.
Cloth one, yeah.
That's a cool effect too. Her head. It's outdated. The weird thing about this movie versus the second one, it looks like there's a huge jump in time as far as the quality of film and the quality of effects.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like a production value. And again, I think it goes into their lighting sets and things, so they're able to control things better. Although, I mean, they had sets in the original first two movies as well.
Yeah.
But everything was lit more like real world. All of the Terran sequence.
So I've seen a couple people just join in. If you're wondering what in the world's going on, we're all watching Nightmare 3 together.
Jake's bar.
And we're in the Terran sequence. So
yeah, if you want to jump in and catch up.
Nightmare.
What a rush.
What a rush. I know this part, like they forget to change his voice in that one shot where he says, why should we fight?
So
You and I are old friends, remember?
I just had a weird thought. That bar right there, that neon light, that's not the same name as the bar in part 2, is it?
No.
No. I can't remember the name of the bar in part 2. But I know the
It's
doors
I
know
look
this,
the same.
The pinky
Wes Craven?
blade. No.
I'm joking.
The pinky blade on his glove is broken off in that shot where he says, "Why should we fight?" If you look at it.
Are we sure that's not the janitor from Scream?
What'd you say? This is a great. I mean, the whole fight thing. I mean, it's. I want an action figure of Taryn. Damn it.
Yeah.
I want an action figure.
Were you at Horror Hound where the little girl was dressed up like her?
Yeah.
Man, that was cool.
Let's
Little
get
6 or 7-year-old kid.
It's so. I mean, the little mouths. It's just so cool. Wasn't her head supposed to blow up or something?
Yeah.
Probably better without that.
The eyeballs popped out, and it works fine the way it is. I love the feathers.
Another simple set.
Yeah, but it's effective.
Yeah, it's all net lighting, and I don't know if they put something on the walls.
I feel like the whole far background is just like blue screen. I can't tell.
It's just
no.
There's stuff back there. It's just really blown out with the light, the fog.
If I had a giant house, I'd love to have that wheelchair.
Just so you guys know, all this happens in the basement of 1428.
Your nose, like his voice almost sounds like he's trying to put him to sleep. Like, oh well, you look tired. Have a seat.
That's his yawning voice.
Like, it's back. The saddle. It's like a classic image of him standing there in that silhouette.
The one thing that would have been cool to see is there other nightmares with Freddy from before all this, because they're all familiar with him and he's familiar with them. Maybe that's a fan film. Will's Nightmare.
I mean, that's what I like about fan films. To me, show you things that you haven't seen that we didn't get to see. That's to me. I think that's all. If your fan film is just mimicking what we've already seen before, but if you can do something that we all know happened, but we never got a chance to see.
I love those old school lightning effects in any movie.
Yeah.
Get him. Get him. Not so good.
The sequence is great, but the kill is
Yeah, I agree.
I like when they get inventive and not just use the gloves.
The line is cool. I don't believe in fairy tales.
Oh yeah. Now, whose room is this supposed to be? Jesse was the last family that lived in that house, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah. I thought I heard voices.
Kate, I could kiss you.
Stop it. Face, pussy.
Favorite part.
Oh God, pussy.
Pussy.
I knew little chick. Here goes the greatest line in the movie. It's a door. Yeah, no shit.
Kincaid's nightmares I'd really like to see before this, because he's calling him a pussy and all kinds of stuff. What happened in his other nightmares? That he,
you know what's funny? Like, I was gonna point out, like, look how the women are dressed. They didn't exploit. Like,
no,
they're not wearing skimpy costumes. I mean, she's wearing sweatshirts and shit.
Taryn's the closest, but that's her.
And that was her.
Yeah.
tough girl image. Like she was a strong character in that.
I'm surprised they haven't made a Terran. I mean, they made the Debbie from Dream Master with the arms.
Just because that was a cool image of the cockroach arms and all
What's
that.
What's cooler than being punk? Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I want a Dream Warrior set. I want a Kincaid. I want a Terran.
That would be a great. They should start. NECA should start doing Horror Hound exclusives.
I'll say again, NECA's starting to do pre-orders on their site, so they might start doing stuff they wouldn't normally sell.
I tried when I was working with them. I talked to Randy. I said, "We need a double set of Freddy and Nancy from the first movie."
Yeah, I mean they stopped at 3 with the Freddy figures, so I have a feeling we're not going to get much more. I'd love that because I'm waiting on 4.
I'll say it's also because the whole estate thing was going on too, where the film rights went back to Wes's estate. Because we were supposed to get a Freddy from versus Jason, but that stopped that.
Another thing you run into problems with likenesses, and if you depending on how the license is written, yeah, like Mark talked about, like I can't use his image because he has to get paid for everything. So
then pay him.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. It's like once you pay him, and they just said that past products have proven that people don't buy those figures.
Well, isn't there also a Nancy in a tub figure?
Yeah. It's really old. Like it's like the scene. I've
got that one, and seems like there's a Kristen one.
There's one
Isn't
with
there?
her in the worm's mouth.
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah.
I've got every Nightmare leading up to about 2010 figure, and then I got the newest. What do they call those? Ultimates. Yeah, I got the 3 Freddys. They stopped at 3. They didn't give me my favorite.
The only crap thing is part 1 isn't really an ultimate because they didn't include the long extended arms.
I want to talk about this sequence when people shit on part 2 for Freddy coming into the real world. Well, what's happening here? Because they're not sleeping.
No,
and a skeleton fights them. He's in the real world, guys.
The Ray Harryhausen skeleton.
Technically, they kind of do the same thing in the first movie, depending on if you think the whole movie's a dream or not.
Yeah, the whole phone call with Nancy.
Well, and plus him coming out of the bed.
Well, I mean, he's been pulled into the real world at the end of Nightmare 1.
That's something I wanted to talk about. Also, was Marge's death. She dies twice in that movie. So, which I know the second one, the last one is Dream, Nancy's dream, right?
Here's my favorite shot in all the films where he comes around this boiler room, this boiler scraping. This moment right here, everything for Nightmare.
Speaking of boiler room, apparently that was the name of the bar, according to Chris Hall in part 2.
Yep.
The gay bar.
I did my comic book, The Malevolent. Right. I had a serial killer who was kind of Freddy-ish. He was a mortician, and he kidnapped and killed strippers who worked at a strip joint called the Boiler Room. It looked like a boiler room inside.
Very poor choice of words.
The name of the bar in Hellraiser 3?
Dark Knight. And what?
Hellraiser 3? Wasn't that JP bar?
Something like that, yeah. Let me look on the World Wide Web.
I remember how cool the reveal of the chest of soul was.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice addition to
the boiler room in Hellraiser 3. That's a popular name for a bar. And he does it while holding Kincaid.
Yeah, I like his look in this, but I do like. I think part 4 to me is the best of the Kevin Yeager looks.
Yeah.
It's because, like you said, it blended this one and part 2's makeup.
Yeah.
Part 2 is my absolute favorite.
He looks great. I don't like part 2's as much because something about his lips bother me. They really went downhill with the makeup when it came to 5 and 6, especially.
Oh God,
Freddy's Dead is the worst.
It's awful.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the makeup in Freddy vs. Jason?
I really like it. I like the details of the eyes and his teeth. Like they're.
It was an improvement. I didn't like the whole demon thing because he's not a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dream, part of the dream demons. Come on.
I mean, because demons are inhuman.
Canon. Just get over it.
Well, it's not canon.
Demons were never human. That's the thing. Like,
right.
He was human. They're inhuman spirits.
That's the one you see mostly nowadays. People use for an image of Freddy is from Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
The best one. The best makeups are after the first movie. The first movie's not bad. I like his ear.
And I think in Freddy vs. Jason, his pants are like gray. They're not brown or black or anything.
I was hoping they'd be green, bright green.
Oh, his hat in New Nightmare was kind of green.
Yeah, it was weird. Now, the New Nightmare though, it was a totally different situation.
Yeah, it's not really Freddy. So
yeah.
Andre said in part 3 when Freddy makes his entrance in that hellish nightmare while holding the doll, that's the last time you hear the nail screeching sound until New Nightmare.
Really? I didn't never notice that. I love this shot. A little Ray Harryhausen going on.
Yep, Ray Harryhausen.
I love when he turns like Hugh and he looks back at him. It's a great little moment. Like, I killed you once already, you son of a bitch.
Oh. That realization's so good. He gives him the head nod and we're not having any muscles. That skeleton moves really well. I wonder how far the place where they burned Freddy alive is to the junkyard.
Got Monster Joe to bury him. Dick Miller. Pulp Fiction reference.
Oh, I never noticed the lights all go out. I think I'm a little bit behind you guys.
Yeah, I'm on the part with the mirrors.
Yeah, I'm there too now, but I think I'm like a few seconds behind. That's okay.
Yeah. And he did not die from reflection.
My daughter was watching this sequence. I showed her the movie a couple weeks ago for the first time. Right before the Kin episode. How did they do this?
I like how distorted they become as they get pulled into the mirror.
There's a little glimpse of that Kincaid death from the script.
Yeah.
Kincaid in the half world kind of thing.
I think that's kind of cool. There's like this room is the doorway to the dream world, kind of.
This is a Willy Wonka room. Just going.
It's a very cool sequence.
Did I do that?
It's like she says he's gone. It's like, you really think that's all it took? A yell. It's a trap. You know, I sit here in silence and think about what people are watching us in silence.
We're watching Nancy about to die, people.
Yeah, this is an emotional scene.
This is a hard scene.
Leads to a great ending, though.
Yeah.
I always like to imagine what a Nancy and Alice team together would have been like. You know, Nancy being the Kruger expert and Alice being the Dream Master.
I love that shot of him holding her body there. That wide.
I like that what is it, a comic cotton shirt that says "Together Forever." It's got the two of them on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
is this the first time he calls the kids piggies?
I think so.
Now, little piggy.
I think so. I don't remember him saying it in 2 or 1. He didn't say too much in 1, if I remember correctly. He says Nancy's holding on pretty strong, being gutted.
You gotta salt and burn the bones.
Am I ahead of you guys? I'm at the funeral now.
What?
I'm at the funeral right now. Am I ahead of you?
You're
You're ahead.
Freddy's the lights are shining for me.
Spinning in light, yeah.
Okay. Patricia's the crucifix forehead.
Patricia's go ahead.
I was gonna say my Blu-ray, it froze for a moment and then it must have kicked ahead.
Yeah.
I love Patricia's performance here. She's holding her. I'm talking about dreaming into a beautiful dream.
And if you guys don't mind if I bring up the original script again, but I that's one of the things I loved in the original script, because like the meaning of what she's saying there is, it's like she keeps Nancy alive in the dream world. Like when she says, "I'm going to dream you into a nice little place," she keeps Nancy alive in the dream world, because there's that little conversation that Kristen and Neil have at the end, and they're talking about how he's going to be seeing her again, and that's why he wants to go to bed. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that would have been. They could have still done that in this. See you in my dreams. That's where
right. They could have set her up as being like the anti-Freddy or some shit. I don't know.
Like George C. Scott sitting there.
A party crasher, Amanda Kruger. So they buried her under the wrong name. No, they buried her under the Amanda Kruger name, right? But an empty grave. Who locked her away in the tower?
1968. Name.
She was also 61 when she died, according to that.
Oh, wow, because a young girl, she was 61, so that means she would have been, man, they're all fucked up, because that made her in her 40s when she was raped and gave birth to Freddy. Said a young girl was trapped in here.
But didn't they?
Y'all just don't pay attention to continuity, do you?
Nobody did back then, I guess. I mean, that's what happens when you have so many script writers. And
yeah,
it's better than Chainsaw 3D.
Look at Star Wars. They screwed up Star Wars because they didn't have the same people writing. Yeah, it's over. One of the best, second best song in the series plays after during the credits. I would crank it if I didn't want to get shut down by Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, Dockin, but this is your best song, even if you don't.
Yeah.
It's a big.
Yep. Sorry, Dockin. Well, this was fun, guys. I had fun doing this. I hope everybody that watched had fun too. Let's do some final thoughts. First of all, they have like 10,000 bobs. Oh, they did they do that on purpose? You notice that? Everybody's in quotes Bob.
Bob.
Again, I've never paid attention to the credits because every time the song comes on, I get up and fucking rock out. So, you don't pay attention to any of the credits. Yeah,
My
let's
tape
do,
my
you guys
tape
enjoy
would cut.
doing this together?
Yeah.
So we'll schedule another one we'll do. Should we do Phantasm first since Chris brought it up, or do you guys want to do Jason Lives?
Jason Lives be a lot funner.
Yeah, I think so too. I love Phantasm. Don't get me wrong.
To me, I think the party movies,
Yeah.
like the like Evil Dead 2 and Jason 6 and
Return of the Living Dead.
Halloween 3. Return of the Living Dead would be great.
Yep. Prince of Darkness
Or Day of the Dead or something like that. Dawn of the Dead.
I think Dawn of the Dead. I'm going to say Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
What about Subspecies? I dig that shirt, by the way, Seth. Subspecies. That's so cool.
I've never seen it, so.
Subspecies?
Nope.
They're not great. I like them, and Radu's fantastic, but they're full moon movies, and they're not great. So yeah, I guess we'll schedule up Jason Lives. Sorry you got outvoted on New Blood. Maybe we'll do that sometime. There's nothing wrong with New Blood. I think it's underappreciated.
I'm fine with it. Jason Lives is my second favorite, so.
Well, we should definitely, cover more Friday 13th.
We will. I'm trying not to because we heavily covered Friday the 13th on the last show we did. THS Lives. It's like we talked about Friday the 13th constantly, and can't talk about the same shit over and over. So we will. There's a Friday the 13th coming up. That box set from Scream Factory is coming out soon, which we'll definitely be covering that a little bit. But yeah, I think. How is Amanda a party pooper? The chick is obviously into orgies. Oh my god!
Oh, I don't want to even hear that.
Chris, oh Jesus!
He going straight to hell.
Oh, we're gonna lock him in a fucking tower. We're gonna give him Wi-Fi so he can watch the show. Yeah, so we'll schedule Jason Lives a couple weeks from now. Maybe next week we've got some vampire stuff. Bank of America. I saw it. I think that's all next week. We're doing vampire movies, aren't we?
Yep.
Talk about some Fright Night, Lost
all
Boys.
The 80s, the big 80s
vampire
three,
week.
basically. I'd say those are probably the three biggest of the 80s. Probably.
Yeah, they are. Well,
Near Dark wasn't a big movie, really.
No.
But it's as respected as the other ones.
People seem to put Near Dark and Lost Boys against each other. I guess because they came out around the same time. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I put them on the same show. Yeah, so we're doing that, and then like I said, Jason Lives. We'll do Halloween 3 in October. If this is a popular thing, we'll do it more. I had fun chatting with you guys and watching Dream Warriors. It's just like hanging out for the most part. So final thoughts on our commentary. Keith, what did you think? Did you like the movie? First time watch for you?
No, not first time watch. No, I mean I like Dream Warriors. I don't like it as much as everybody else. I feel like it's almost everybody's fan favorite almost.
I think it is, yeah.
No, I enjoy it. Like every time I watch it, all I think about is growing up and watching Chiller Channel or whatever the heck it was called. But I mean, we get the introduction to Kincaid, which is like one of the best or Nightmare on Elm Street characters.
Oh God, you guys are now thirsting for Friday the 13th.
Sorry.
Been putting it off as long as I can. I love Friday the 13th. Jared, what about you? Some final thoughts?
It's my favorite sequel. Like, it's not a it's not a secret. It was actually fun to sit with you guys and sit and actually watch it and kind of hear some of your guys' like inputs and takes from it. This was fun. I think we should do it again, like for another movie.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun doing this. Nate, what do you got? Is there a man at the door or?
Man of the door. No, yeah, like it's this movie's pure nostalgia for me. I just remember watching it on like just constantly enjoying Freddy, and I mean, I think I'm the one that suggested we do this one because I watched it with my daughter right before the Ken Sagos episode, and it just takes me back every time I watch it. Of that, it's like a sensory memory kind of thing where I just remember the way life felt then, and how it was, like just the smells, the atmosphere, everything of watching that. Every frame of that movie is just so stained in my past and my memory, and defines me in some way. Like it's a movie that it should be in my top 10 favorite films of all time because of how much it meant to me.
I think there's two different lists you could make. One of because of how it meant, because I have two lists. The thing that I'm going to piggyback on that real fast and say this reminds me of a time where I lived Freddy. Freddy was everything, and that's what I want to watch Dream Warriors and think about it. But yeah, I lived Freddy when this movie came out.
Yeah, all of that stuff, all of the MTV, the music video, the music, the
world
so much
stopped
of it.
When Freddy came on for me back then.
Yeah, I mean that movie defines the late '80s to me, and where I was and what I was into. Everything before Batman came out.
Yes, exactly.
And yeah.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah, we're parallel on that one.
Yeah, we are. Because as soon as Batman came off, the switch flipped. I'm like, fuck Freddy for a while.
I want to make comic books now.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, and that's sweet spot. 87, 88. It's a good time, man. This was a good one to pick, even though Dream Master came out 32 years ago yesterday. Seth, what do you got, man?
It's a dumpster fire.
Oh God, here we go again.
No, I like I said in the beginning of the show, the first four Nightmare movies are just fantastic. I can watch them anytime.
Yeah.
Dream Master is my favorite, but it's just barely above like 1 and 3 for me. And this was a good time. This was fun. So we should do it again.
What about Candyman? Would you guys want to watch Candyman together? That'd be a good one.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down for any of this. Maximum Overdrive would be fun.
That would be fun.
I'm busy that episode. Anyway, if you're still watching, if anybody watches this afterwards, let us know in the comments anything that you'd like us to do this with, and you're watching along with us, hopefully, and you comment and chat with us about the movie that we're watching. Jason Lives will be next. We'll announce my hand keeps going in front of the camera. We'll announce when we do that. I might move some things around the schedule to get to it faster because, God damn it, I love Jason Lives.
Ray's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't. They're sitting on the couch and everything, but like when I talk, I'm very like Taryn. But anyway, thanks for watching. Next week is Vampire Week, so Fright Nights. Maybe we'll have a special guest. I don't know yet. And then we're going to be talking about the Lost Boys and Near Dark. I think the Lost Boys will probably end up taking up most of the conversation. I have a feeling because. What do you guys prefer, Lost Boys or Near Dark?
Oh, Lost Boys.
I've only seen Near Dark once, but I've never really been a huge fan of Lost Boys, and I think it's because I didn't really grow
cover
up with
my
it.
camera
It was always on. Everybody was always watching Lost Boys. I was like, ugh.
It's because it's great. Nathan, what about you?
I lean to Lost Boys because, again, I watched it a whole lot. I watched that far more than Near Dark. I don't even know if I saw Near Dark at that time. I think I
didn't
saw
see it
Near
till like
Dark
2013.
Later. Yeah, I think I saw it in the early '80s or early '90s, mid '90s. And it's a great fucking movie. It really is. I think it's just the nostalgia of Lost Boys outweighs it for me personally. I don't think it's a better movie.
Is it the nostalgia or the saxophone player? Which one is it?
Saxophone player. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
And it's him.
Yes. Do you have a preference, Seth?
The Lost Boys.
Okay.
I just showed that to my kids last weekend.
Did you? What do they think?
Oh, I gotta show my daughter that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too before the episode. Show my kids.
Yeah,
my son, at least.
they loved it. They had a good time.
So it's one of the better vampire flicks because there's a lot. You get the romantic vampire angle with Michael and Star, and then you get the bloodthirsty beasts and David and his brood, and you get that great scene on the beach where they're ripping into the people, and you could really see what vampires are. That's one of the best parts about that movie. But you get that with Near Dark also. Bill Paxton's amazing in that movie. So that's next week. So make sure you join us. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Seth just put up a great vampire movie, Stakeland 2 review, and there's Stakeland and Late Phases, and I'm going to do my review of this garbage set and explain why Scream Factory needs to get their hands on the Nightmare series. I don't think I need to explain why. It's obvious. But thanks for showing up, hanging out. We'll do more of these. Jason Lives will be next, but when? All right. Go ahead and cut it. We'll see you next week.